Okay, I am back at it again. Just another quick one before work. But looking at where I left off yesterday, I think I know what I'd want to change. It's this edge. Do I wait to do that until after I've messed with the middle? Maybe. Maybe that's what I do. I know the middle was a point of contention. There's also quite a lot of crud just hanging around. So maybe I try to get rid of that first. Because it's going to annoy me the whole time it's here. I keep putting my palm in it. This is still pretty squishy. Because the weather has been disgusting. I think it's supposed to calm down again next week, which is a massive relief. Because I can't function in temperatures like that. But then I'm not a particularly good barometer for those sorts of things, because above 10 degrees and I'm suffering. You know, not really a fair call. Spring is usually, like, I can contend with spring, usually. Summer is an absolute no. Winter is great. I can do any minus whatever, like that's fine. But yeah, no. Not the warm. Trying to think about how I approach this. Keep everything vaguely symmetrical. I think I built up this side, which is fair enough. Don't mind that a whole bunch. Let me just lift it up to eye level and see if it looks pretty okay. Actually, not bad, you know. It could be a lot worse. So I'm okay with that. Let me pull up a reference again. That's the one. Yeah, nice. Okay. So this middle bit is going to suck. It's gonna really suck. I gotta think about it fairly carefully. Because I'm thinking, if I can just get either side, then maybe I do the outer edge first. If I end up messing with that, it's gonna be a problem. Yeah, maybe that's what I do. That and the very tippy top. This bit up here. I called it up, right? Yeah. So I need to build up this bit up here that it stands away more than the rest, which is fine. Because I have this to go off of as far as what I'm doing with that. And as I say, all the clay is still pretty soft, so I can kind of just get on with that. It's fine. Wondering what the most sensible way of doing it would be. I'm thinking if I just whack a chunk on top and then carve into it, probably gonna work the best. That's kind of what worked best for the other bits in the end. Also, kind of expecting my mate from yesterday to rock up when they wake up. But that's probably not going to be until around 4 anyway. So, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm totally expecting them to show. Too far away? Not necessarily. Pretty sure it only comes to here. And by this. Like that on here. Vaguely central. Right. Look at this. So this is the lowermost. So if I start by doing that, at least then. Okay, so it's that and that. I think a lot of this is going to be useful to kind of mark in. So I at least have half an idea as to where everything really sits. Okay. So that's the lower edge. Let me see if I can really make a point of that. And when I stick this back on, try and line that up again. Seems fairly okay. Also going to try and mark this top bit. This is the only other bit that really matters as far as this goes. See that enough? No. I only actually need to be working with this. All I actually, this bit up here, which makes my life a little bit easier, to be fair. I'm working from there, then actually, I don't need this much either. So it's sloping into this. I pinch that, squish this, this is doable. Funny, I've gone into this saying, like, need to get through this fairly quickly, you know? Make this a viable project to do alongside my main one. And now I'm like, what is this, day 3? Cool. How's that working for you? That's pretty typical of me. So I can't say I'm particularly phased. I'd rather do a thing properly, you know? That's the trouble, is I can't help it. So, bring this in. No, I can work. It's fine. Fine. Always mess with it once it's on there. Just getting it to that point. It's a closer warmer. To come out. Sides more. Maybe it'd be easier if I did the very middle and then just added bits to it. Maybe, if I wanted to be really smart, just make it bigger and then cut it afterwards. Maybe that's what I do. I kind of want to have a central line to it. So if I just make sure I get that side of things, just add around it after the fact. Seems doable. As long as it's long enough to cover where I want it to. I want it to go up and then slope back in. What I'm trying to get from this. I think that's going to look the nicest. That should be pretty good on that front. So if I then just consider where this cuts off, which is pretty much where it is, to be fair. So actually, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And if I just try and really point this bit, then I can add in around it. Do I even need to? Maybe not. Maybe I don't even need to. Maybe I just flatten it out a bit. And roll with that. I reluctantly squish it and then repoint it. Maybe that's how I do this. I don't know, I'm kind of blagging it. What's new? Really? Look at it from the side. Does it still look like it's sticking out too much? The answer is yes. Bring it down even lower. Then rinse and repeat. Trying not to get glove creases up and everything. Which is borderline impossible. That looks better. And from the side, does it stick out too much? Well, by the time there's a hilt on there, probably not. In all fairness, probably going to be okay. Try it, see what happens. So if I can get a vaguely straight edge along here, in relation to that point, means getting a vaguely even point first. Okay. Me get a vaguely even cut on this. That's okay. Let's see where that sits. As long as that line is straight, I can mess with the rest. That is straight in relation to that. That seems okay. Then where do I want to take this? Sort of up around here. Same with this. Around here. Okay. Then me and my inability to cut at a straight angle. Give it a go. And then should just be able to shape the rest to fit that. Looking at the gem on my reference, I want to curve this bit in a little. And then I just got to try and have everything conform to the bits I've already marked. So let's make it up. Same with this. That then fits all of that. Swivel this round so I can see this bit a little better. Okay. Then I will just try to smooth this down here. Same with this bit. What can I get rid of here? I'd say that. Try and match it up over here. Okay. Looking at this, I want to bring more down here. Slope it. Same with this. At this point, I'm just trying to get it to be fairly even. Once it's even, I'll start looking at what I actually need to carve into it. That side's pretty decent. About you. this out as well while I'm here. Ain't super mad at that. Really. This bit needs to be brought down a bit. That doesn't look too bad from my level. So actually, not crazy bothered with that. Looking up the blade, it looks even. Looking down the blade, it's not too bad. I'm gonna faff with this one a little bit. Fine, I just have to hold it right up to my face. So bear with me. Yeah, not bad. Okay. So I then have that there. From there, I need to look at what I'm carving into it. I can get rid of these random bits that end up everywhere. See that, and to me, so this whole thing's ended up slightly longer than intended. I don't think that matters a whole bunch. If I'm doing that, is that. Then it's this top bit. I need to shorten slightly. Would my life be easier if I cut this out? Maybe, but then I don't have a frame of reference for where it should sit. So maybe it won't be. Maybe what I do is... because I agonize in perfectionism, I think if I were to say this is where it cuts off, so about here. I will just bring it up to that point there. I think will serve me better. Yeah, there's foam under there. But it's because this has ended up being dragged further down. That's all it is. But I like this, so I'm leaving it. Rather mess with the other bit. So, I could not whack my webcam in the process, though. That would be great. Let me just... really do abuse this box cutter. theory, just bring this to a point. I add a teensy bit back under here. I prefer being accurate with things. So this actually isn't a major deal to me. To swipe away a bunch of the little fragments again, because they're going to get stuck in everything, and it's going to annoy me. Right, let's whack this in here. Didn't need that much, in fairness. Why are you here? Go away. Remember how to do this. Okay, good. Deals with that. I just smooth this down here. It's undercuts, etc. Make sure that's covered. Which it appears to be. Then should just be able to inch this. Form a point. At least attempt to. Undercuts. seems better than it was. What I might do is take just on that bit one of these. It slopes up here, but once it gets here, it's pretty straight. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah. That sorts that. The problem is with the foam underneath. Does it look from here? Yeah, see, I think I can get away with adding a teensy bit. Maybe by the time I've messed with this, I'll feel a little bit better about it. I think it needs to be flatter. That's what's bothering me. I think if I add a little bit in here on each side, I think that will fix what's bothering me. Just in this little gap in here. So, let me half that. I can at least get this done, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Same for this side. still feel like it needs to be flatter. I think it does. Yeah. I'll give it one of these. And drag it down after the fact. Seem to have a tendency to start off with too much and then end up paring it down to like half what I originally thought, which is fine. Easier to do it that way than to not have enough. But I do seem to be making a habit of it. I could not. That would be awesome. That's better. It's better. I think there is more of a point up here. I think there is. So let me just add probably too much. Off. Off. Something to that effect. I end up adding on what I'd already taken off. Swear is the most me move. Maybe if I cut off a tiny bit, maybe. And whack it on there. Maybe that'll work out slightly better. See, that looks better to me. I swear, stuff like this is 99%. No, that seems right. 1% actual sensibility. Best case. It's just majority guesswork. I prefer stuff like that, to be honest. Winging it. Oh, would you look who it is? You're, what, hour and a half early? for being awake. Good morning. Did you do the thing? Half an hour. Oh, I thought you were going to get up at 4. Didn't finish packing. Bruh. I packed like a week before anything ever. If you didn't finish packing, then do I dare ask about the rest? Somehow I inherited my mum's ability to not be able to start anything on time. Right. Carnage. Did your car insurance? Okay, well, that is something. It's not the droids we're looking for, but it's something. Dan never sent you the reference. I don't know, to be honest. Every chance he forgot, he's got a lot on, bless him. You're exhausted with 4 hours sleep? Yeah, that's understandable, to be honest. Too much to do to go back to sleep? Yes. Objectively, yes. What time are you being picked up again? 4:45. Yeesh. That's not that. Yeah, no, I'd absolutely not. I would have been up a long time before then. Under no circumstances would I be able to contend with that. Pretty much all done. Well, I mean, do I believe that particularly? Because I kind of sort of know you at this point ish. Oh, my back. I think, yeah. Case in point. Case and point. So my suitcase is like 75% full, but still 8 kilograms light of the max, which is frustrating because I've had to take a bunch of stuff out. I don't know. As I say, I've only been on a flight once, and I was so paranoid about the bag limit that I just took basically nothing with me. I was fine, but then I was only I was only in Berlin for like 3 days. So, it wasn't like I needed a whole bunch. I think I wore the same trousers like the whole time anyway, so that was easy enough. Didn't need to pack the different weather because it was winter and it was snowing, so just used the same gear the whole time. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. This side is higher. What I was afraid of. Messing with bits that objectively don't matter that much. My life now. Just thinking I quite like having that as a straight, fairly upright edge. And if it slopes, it's going to make it slightly less of a pain for the hilt. I know I could probably get away with half of what I've taken, but yeah, that's usually how these things go. Let me smooth this back down, because I think it's going to be easier for the hilt, so screw it. But then an angle is nice. It kind of suits the rest of it, so yeah, maybe that's what I do with this. Angle that sucker. Ah. Looks nice from here. Dare I ask whether you've read my notes? You have? Ah, okay, okay. That's more than I was expecting. I'm gonna take away a bit of this. Not a lot, but a bit. Just from up here. After dinner, I put on one of your stream replays to body double so I wouldn't get distracted. That's actually quite wholesome. I am always glad to be used for noble purposes. All right, fair enough. I'm willing to stand corrected. More than willing. Body doubling is huge, to be honest. I use my nan for that all the time. Fortunately, we both like to be busy, so checks out. It works surprisingly well. Because you just yap to yourself. Yeah. Also somehow tricks my brain into feeling you're giving me like the look if I'm not doing what I'm meant to be. Oh, and I absolutely would be. If I were there in person, you know. I think that entire lab knows the look, to be fair. %. Yeah. Yeah. Have like three, and even with a face mask and safety glasses, we can still tell them apart. Silent communication. I always think of myself like Gromit from Wallace and Gromit. Like, I don't need to say anything. I'm just incredibly expressive. Valid, yeah. That's always been a thing. It's considerably better. Let me see if I can try and match that on this side. And saying that I yapped myself is kind of the nicest way you can put it. Not gonna lie. My commentary is lacking. Believe it or not, I'm not actually very good at talking about myself. Always easier when there's someone else around. Gives me someone to ask about. I definitely mutter though. It's something I've had to try and get accustomed to doing because typically I just work silently. Gonna get up when my alarm goes off at 3, but I'll stay in stream, just won't be messaging. Okay, it's fine. I will endeavor to yap then, I guess. I like the commentary, it's good. I don't know about that. But once I'm gonna have to leave before you and not to sleep. Yeah, true, actually. That is true. That is nuts. Like Grace hopped in stream once because she was up watching Coachella, and she thought it was nuts that she was up before I was. In fairness, I also thought it was nuts. Yeah, right. Of all the people. keep finding little bits that aren't quite right. And it's not going to matter, because I'm going to cut into all of this anyway, but I know me and I can't just leave it. I see it, I have to fix it. The rules. It's looking cool. Thanks. I'd intended to make this a fairly quick project, and then proceeded to be myself about it. So, you know, never mind. It was primarily something that I can do in like smaller streams, because my big project requires a lot of time. Kind of need to have like a whole day off to deal with that, realistically. I'm hoping it's going to be easier to deal with that now that my time is going to be, you know, my own, I suppose. For all I know, that could just be cope, so we'll see. The next full day that I have free must focus on my main project, but I don't have one of those until next week. And even then, it's not technically a full day free. It's enough of a day free, but it's not a full day free. That fairly straight? Fairly. I seem to get bored too easily to actually do any of the things I have ideas about. Been meaning to make a bracelet in memory of Dad since January, and it literally only take half an hour, but I just can't. It varies. Things like this tend to require specific moods. I just make myself do stuff if I'm not feeling it, you know? But last couple of days I've been feeling it, so it's fine. I definitely take the wins as I get them. Yeah, true, yeah. Also way too warm? Yes. Yes, it is. I actually woke up an hour before my alarm because I was really cold. So I've been running my aircon full blast, and then when the sun goes in and stops streaming through my window, it cools off pretty rapidly. So I was hella cold, and then was tossing and turning, and was like, you know what, just stay awake, just stay awake. Who cares? Whatever. At this point, does it matter? No. So oh well. Is this right? Can't actually tell. What a ruler I could check. Been running the fan all night, but that doesn't actually cool the room, it just moves the air. Yeah. That it do. So that is the center line. So yeah, it is off. It needs to come this way, which is what I thought it did. Let's push it with this. Should be able to keep it fairly straight. That seems better. Nice if that's all it needs. I will just pull that over here a bit. Hopefully, that should more or less fix the issue. Certainly looks more even. Doesn't look too bad. Swish it over this way slightly. Definitely better than it was. Definitely better than it was, but straighten this edge up. Now, moving it over. What is my this one? Looking down here, you can see how wonky this is, which is not fun. I have other ways of doing this. Where are the things I had? Over here, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Okay. Slightly better. I can still see where it's not happy with me. All this bit in here. This where I get too obsessive? Probably. Does make it look better. No, is anyone going to be paying that much attention? Probably not. But if it's not straight, will I know about it? Yes. It will bother me. It's definitely not straight. I can't think of any other way of doing this particularly. I don't want to cut anything, ideally. I don't want to mess with the blade aspect. It's that I'm really pretty okay with, all things considered. The faff a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's just all of this is really wonky. Can't tell if I'm making this better or worse, to be honest. Judging by that. Worse. I feel it's going to be one of those things that takes me way longer than it should. Because I am actually obsessive. Not even textured anything yet. It's slightly better than it was, but it's still not. I don't know, going down to eye level was playing with fire. Absolutely was. the same time, I know myself well enough to know that I'd be annoyed if I didn't do it, so I suppose ultimately, what do I actually lose here? Comparatively little, I'd argue. Provided I'm vaguely sensible with it, I guess. It's almost never the case. It's a bit's bothering me. That's the other thing I hate about the weather getting warmer. There are so many bugs everywhere. Keep debating with myself how much this actually matters. Oh, it's considerably better though. No, I have to do this. I have to do this. This is genuinely so much better. What is it I'm doing? Basically, trying to get this middle bit to be vaguely straight when you look down the blade. That's that's a thing that people with swords like to do. They like to look down blades. So I'm trying to make sure everything is even. And I'm hating myself for it. Straight? Oh, shut up. I said trying, didn't I? Tee-hee. Friggin' tee-hee me. That side is way better for that. It's 3 a.m. and I've had 4 hours sleep. I'll tee-hee you if I please. I can't really argue against that, so I'm inclined not to try. Okay, I think that side's actually pretty okay. Fly, go away, man. What did I just say? Go, shoo. Something I've been wondering is, does this clay not dry out while you're not working on it? Ah, not this stuff. This is oil-based. So this stays smushy. And it's great. But it's also why I wear gloves, because it's oil-based. So cleaning it off your hands is a pain in the ass. Doable, but it's annoying. You have to oven it. Ah, no. So, this stuff stays soft forever. So, the only way of making it any harder, really, is if you cool it down. If you whack it in the fridge, you can make it harder. But for the most part, having it soft is its usefulness. Because it's very, very easy to make various marks with. So I swear by this. It's kind of cool. It's one of those, like, it's brilliant for molding and casting stuff. If you're looking to make something and have it exist forever, don't use this. Yes, you can reuse it, and I do. I have an entire slow cooker filled with offcuts of this. Because if you warm them up again, you can make it into one big mass and then just reuse it. So, yeah, I've had the same clay for many years. Just keep reusing it. Oh, that's so much better. Holy crap. Ah, I see, I see. Yeah. It's how it be. It's infinitely better than it was. Lots of smoothing, yes. That's the only trouble, is that because this is so easy to mark, it's also very easy to deform. So you kind of gotta be pretty friggin' careful. Not that this one fly seems to understand that. Go away. I'd definitely spend like 6 hours on something and then drop a tool on it. Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's the fear. It's great in many ways, but it's also fairly wet inducing in other ways. So once I have a cast of this, like, I can sand it and smooth it also. So, like, I'm not super worried in that regard. But the more you do at this point, the less you have to do later. So, I prefer doing it at the stage that is easier, really. Even if it means having to be patient around how quickly I can get onto molding and casting everything. Believe it or not, I'm actually very patient. Almost to a fault. Stuff like this. I spent forever doing stuff like this. And then, standard, you get to eat and drink and yada yada. Because that's how this stuff works. Okay, so that's actually very uneven. Fair enough. Oh, I believe it. Yeah. 110%. Getting better. It needs to be more taken off from along here. Down here. Then still more down here. Not a hell of a lot, but This is usually easier to do when it's cooler, so you're not kind of moving it around. But also the weather is such that I don't have a lot of choice. I'm kind of just having to take what I've got, really. So will you use this side and then make two of them to bind together, or will you need to flip it and make the other side? Because if it's squishy, that seems hard. Yeah, so my plan is to set up a little wall around this, put little things like, well, bits like this, just kind of dotted around everywhere, then silicone over that, and when I take it out, there'll be little gaps this shape that are left. So if I flip it, if I put it in the fridge and cool this off, I should be able to take everything off of it without this breaking. Then it's just a case of doing the same sort of thing again, but if I fill that void in the original, put this on top of that, and then spray everything with mold release, super important, and then silicone it again, the silicone will fill the gaps that this left, and it makes like little locators, so you can sort of pop things on and off and it stays put. I'll have to sculpt like a little triangle funnel, and then I can have the two halves sat together, pour resin in them, and then just leave it. So it's fairly convoluted, but I have a plan. It just kind of all sort of relies on this not breaking. We'll see. As worst comes to worst, I'll have a half that I can use, cast two halves, and then stick them together. It's not the end of the world. But I'd rather be able to do the blade in a oneer. That is preferable. I'm so here for this process, I'm invested just as well, because it is definitely a process. That is definitely what this is. Now I need to get out of bed, so I'll be less active in chat. Okay, yeah. You said that was going to happen like 20 minutes ago anyway, so that is fine. Go do whatevs. That feels better. Feels better. Does it look better? Still a bumpy mess, annoyingly. Can I get away with just kind of hammering it? Oh, no, that does actually kind of fix it. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. This is why these things take me such a long time. Do that, and then more of this. And looking up here. Yeah, see, that's when it goes wonky again. That's the thing. It's because it's soft. Annoyingly. Come on, man, don't do that. this. I could not do that. That'd be awesome. So this is where I get very lost in the sauce. Trying to decide how much any of this actually matters. The fact that this isn't level, the one next to it. Always knowing when to quit. I'm fairly terrible at. Which is why having a time limit is usually a good thing, objectively. It's so soft. Going to cause me problems. I really wanted to have this middle bit dealt with. It's been hacking me off this whole time. Now it's wonky again. This is where I'm going to come unstuck. I know it is. Been here before. Been here before so many times. Please, don't do this to me. Let's just go. Be gone. I have to decide what matters more, and I think getting the sides even is more important because I can sand the top ridge. As long as all of this is straight, I can deal with the rest in post. This is the bit that matters. Sanding down that side would be a nightmare. Sanding a flat surface is totally fine. Literally see that this is wonky. It's so soft, I think even the bristles on the brush are marking it. Yeah, I think they actually are. That's nuts. Definitely shouldn't be a thing. Don't seem ideal? Nah, it ain't. It really ain't. I'm debating, like, do I leave this... When I dip out, do I leave this in the fridge? So that when I get to it tomorrow, it should be significantly easier to carve without messing up. It's a temptation for sure. Bring this in. just sand it in post. Ain't worth the hassle. Actually not, because I've got a Dremel. Like, it's easy. It's not too much. Just getting real difficult to see what I'm doing. Just push this. Feel like I can just push this. I'll end up fixing it. Yeah, that's the trouble. So soft that I can literally just push it side to side. Damn you, heat wave. Yeah. So, let me try using this thing again. That's shit. That's fine. I just definitely didn't hit my laptop with my elbow. My workspace is limited. God, this is remotely irritating. And that messes with that bit. That's the issue. Is it just where this is? Things I can't tell. God, every time I fix it, I manage to balls it up again. I really, really need to just leave this in the fridge. Deal with it after that. Because I can do less than nothing to fix this right now. To walk away. Okay, so I've downloaded all the documents I need for the applications. I've got them on my tablet to complete while away. Good. Good. That is important. Have you messaged Dan? Not today. Okay. Did yesterday and he liked it. Okay, good. As long as you have sent a friendly reminder, that is okay. Did not keep doing that. That would be ideal. It's just so wonky. Every time I tell myself to walk away, I come back. I'm like, no, I can fix it though. Look, please. You're doing that thing again. Meet my exes. It's unhelpful. I will eventually walk away from this. Because I have to. Because the passage of time exists. In fairness, that's making it look slightly better. On that side, it looks slightly better. I can do similar on this side and then walk away. God damn it. What time do I need to go today? I'm probably good till like 4:30, to be fair. Although I definitely need to go pee before then. Because I've needed to for like the past 45 minutes. But then I've been involved in this, so I've been like, nah, how about I just don't do that? I'm gonna walk away from this. This, no, these. Yeah. Away from that. Unless I just want to get like a quick center line. I think I can. Okay. Let me try real hard. Get the center line in here. Okay, I get a rough idea. This fly will not leave me alone. This fly. Come on, man. Give me a freaking break. Right. Center line sort of achieved. Not wholly adverse to that. In fairness, it's not even like this thing is actually straight on the blade. Why have I been trying to make it straight this whole time? I could have just been using my reference. Right, you know what? I'm gonna go pee. God's sake. It doesn't even need to be straight. I'm such an idiot. Alright, cool. Glad I spent a bunch of time on that. Right, let me BRB, go pee. Never bother being straight? Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Lesson learned, right? BRB. Alright, I'm back. I'm back, and I'm mad at myself for not checking my bloody references. But I do have more water, so... Okay. Let's see where I was. Last I remember, I was annoyed. Can you narrow it down, please? Right. Reference. Oh, hey, would you look at that? It does actually bow out there. Oh. In fairness, also slopes. This is lower than this one. This is where I start seeing all the things that don't quite match up. I have to decide how much that matters. It's enough to annoy me, so... Why does my phone keep disconnecting from chat? That's super annoying. Doing that thing again. Well, I guess. It's just a little bit that needs to be here. In there and in there. Needs a little bit more of a line than it does currently. So lost inside my own skull right now, it's ridiculous. I think it was one of those because I'd gone into it like, oh yeah, I'll just do this. Then I'm annoyed. Because it's like, no, I haven't just done this. I found 1,000,001 other things to bloody do. You'd think I'd know myself well enough by now. Apparently not. Put in there as well. This fly, I swear. Now that I've given up on that being straight, I'm less bothered about cutting into it. I have to change it anyway. Because I am an idiot. It's just so soft. It's causing me problems. Having just said that this was great, it's now determined to ruin its own reputation. Which is fine, I guess. You do you. Don't see how that benefits you a whole bunch. It's where I wonder whether it's even enough to begin with. Can't tell where that's. I was going to build those edges up and cut them back anyway, so maybe if I do that first, I'll have half an idea when it comes to what I'm doing with the rest. Let's see what I can do. To go from sort of down here-ish. See where it ends up, I suppose. More. Let's try this. It's too thin. No, it's not dissimilar to the one I've already got. Not entirely. I do it from a similar sort of place. It's slightly thicker, which is objectively better, to be honest. I might redo this one. It's going to be easier if they're thicker. I think then that will give me a better idea when it comes to sorting out that bloody middle bit. That's another, takes me 2.5 hours to do nothing stream. What's new, I guess. I always end up so frustrated that I don't manage to get enough done. It's like, there's never any, not even appreciation, just kind of allowance for how long things like this actually take. I always expect too much, realistically. Every time. I try and learn from my mistakes and start on my less dominant side. Plan is use this for this, then literally cut it. At the desired angle. Also, there's a bit of fluff stuck in it. Trying to remember how I did it with these. I did just kind of slice it, I think. Me try and do the same on this side first, and figure it out, I guess. See, I thought I'd started on my less dominant. Maybe I was wrong. This seems to be significantly messier than the other one was. So, I don't know. Maybe they're just slightly different heights, which they shouldn't be. Maybe they are. Regardless, I'm gonna have to build something up on that right hand side. Match what's already there. This one's just kind of done exactly what I wanted it to. The other one, markedly less so. It is significantly wider looking. So and this is considerably thinner. So it's actually very hard to know. A lot of this just needs playing around with. Of course it does. Imagine just having an easy time of anything ever. wouldn't pick it if it was easy, clearly. Me roll something to try and fill this in. Try and stop being so salty. I think it's just because it always takes longer than I think it will. Even when I like overestimate, it still takes longer. Slowly getting somewhere. Me and my damned perfectionism. Going to be the death of me. This side looks way thicker, but I'm pretty sure because that middle bit in here is too thin compared to this side. So I can fix that too while I'm at it. Most of that's going to be cut away. Plan. It's the intent. Let's try. About which I think. That then evens that up. Okay. That middle is then much more even, which is a plus. There's a little bit in here that needs fixing. Let's just try this. Better than it was. Yeah. then I want to try figure out how to get that angle on this. I'm wondering, it's just going to be a case of slicing it off. It's really, on this side, it's not even that bad. Kind of follows the thing, but I want it to, for the most part. I said about that. Let's use this. That's better. So then it was, what's the time? Okay, just gone 4. That's not too bad. I can hang about for a little bit longer. Might help if I pull up a reference this time. So, it does go in quite significantly from there. So if I were to say more like that. It splays out quite a lot up here. So how much can I get away with taking out in here? The answer is probably quite a lot. Not that much, surely. Where's my original? Oh, okay, geez. So actually, yeah, it is more like that. Enough. Fair enough. So can I get rid of some of the random crud from around the edge? Will that be less confusing? That's better. Kind of, sort of see what I'm doing then. Yeah, that actually isn't too far away from what it's meant to be, which is good. A lot closer to what it's meant to be. That does kind of follow that, so alright, I'm not too mad at that then. Just clean up around that bottom edge. It's fine. That side is then way better. Right. I just have to try and match it on the other side. What can possibly go wrong? Same sort of line. Already don't like I'm coming in. I'm going to go out. That's going to be the better. For sure. Comes in pretty substantially along here. And it's just going to have to this. The right thing, and then go back and make it not disgusting. As far as levels, it's actually not that different, so that's okay. As far as general thickness, significant difference in each side. God, it just gets everywhere. Not nearly so bad when it's cold. Then you can't bloody work with it when it's cold either, so... I do think once I'm done with it for this morning, I'll whack it in the fridge hopefully when I come to use it all tomorrow, it won't be irritating. It won't be as irritating, I suppose. That's the theory, at least. This needs to be straightened up a little bit. Okay, getting better. This bit in here. And I'm wondering whether it's just that this whole bit is off center. And on its own, it looks fine. This needs to come in. And it looks to be quite a bit higher as well, so I'm wondering. Give that one of these as well. Brush all of this away so I can see what I'm doing with my life. Maybe still needs a chunk taken out here. Try and get rid of some of this so I can see where the actual line is. It's in here. Okay, it's getting there. Not quite. Maybe it's just an angle thing. Maybe that'll help. It might be, you know. I think that might actually be okay as it is. I think it might just be a case of angles. This. Is I maybe taking that down. Oh, my back. Jeez. It's fine, I can only be here till past anyway. And I will have to dip. Reluctantly, but I'll have to. I'm not going to be able to walk quickly to work. Not in this weather. Gotta factor that in. So this one, I ain't mad at. The side's not terrible, in fairness. How does it match up to this? I mean, it's bigger. Does that matter necessarily? Is it fairly even? Am I that pressed about it? No. Yes. Because I remain myself. So. And I want to take more out from over here. I think so. I do think that's better though. Okay, I am more okay with how that's turned out. Not that it's any kind of vaguely easy to see. No. Is that better? Maybe it is. Yeah. Basically just had to kind of try and even everything up. If I show you rather what I mean about looking down the blade, you can kind of see what I mean. Trying to keep everything straight has been an absolute nightmare. Oh well. It's now fairly even and reasonably okay, really. Okay enough that I can walk away without seething. So I think that is a net positive. Jeez. Okay. I just stare at my reference one additional time. It's got the slope now, which is the main thing. Didn't have that for a bit. These are maybe a little too pronounced, but also kind of want it to be very clearly non-lethal. So I'm inclined to keep it like that. Because the end thing is going to be real thick. But again, non-lethal, it's an important factor. The end thing is going to be double this. It's very thick. So I'm probably take everything down a little bit again. Not that it matters a whole bunch, because I'm redoing that middle bit anyway, so I don't have to be as pressed about it. And I'll just use faffing with that as my last or muck about before I dip. And at least then, as I say, I can leave without being super mad about anything. That makes a change. Gotta check how warm it is outside as far as walking to work, because I can't be bothered to perish. try and do the same on this side real quick. And then, yeah, probably leave this in the fridge, realistically. As long as there's space in there, it'll be fine. And once all of this is done, I'll have a better perspective on how this is gonna sit. I'm probably gonna end up taking a whack off of this also. Why things like this are so sort of stop-starty as far as making any kind of decent progress. Constantly changing my freaking mind. It's fine. All for the right reasons. That's what actually matters. It's all in the pursuit of accuracy. It's also why most cosplayers don't sell things. Because they know that the time they put into it will never be willingly compensated. You end up being hired by like a game studio or something for promo. Even then, I don't actually know how much people get paid, so. Okay, I'm leaving now. I know you're streaming anyways, but thanks for keeping me company. That's alright. And yeah, I definitely was just here anyway. But that's fine. You go contend with various. I'm gonna have to duck out soon anyway. So that I'm not running to work, because absolutely not. Enjoy your holiday, and I will see you when you get back in a couple of weeks. Bye, Z's. Yeah, it's 4:30. I should definitely be ducking out in a second. Let me just half with this side a little bit. Less, might be easy to do it at this angle. Yeah, I think it will be. And I'm definitely going to reduce this middle bit to a later date. I suppose I could really just squash it down because it needs to be wider anyway. That's not an impossibility. Not in the grand scheme of things. It needs to be slightly angled in. And then I'm more or less at a point that I'm happy enough to walk away from. Realistically, I don't want to, but also I have to go to work, and I have to not be running there because it takes me a while to walk there. Well, I mean, it should take me a while to walk there. When the weather's warm, it takes as long as it should, you know. When the weather's cool, I can get there in half the time. But when it's warm, I have to be fairly careful because I will overheat badly. I was debating getting a bus. No, I want to walk, really. When the weather gets warmer, my opportunities to walk dwindle significantly. Again, because overheating. And I like walking. Just a little bit in this middle. That is then less thick, which is good. I don't know if it's easy to tell or not. Not particularly, but again, kind of maybe like that sort of, you can see, ish, very ish. But yeah, it's not as thick. I'm still gonna have to knock all of this back or smush it all out. Potentially just smush it all out, actually. Where's my metal ruler gone? I had it here. It's here. Let me just smushed it, kinda. Actually ended up looking kind of nice as well. It does pull away. Let's not do that then. Yeah, the center line is then off, but is it the end of the world at this point? No. Because I'm adding to it anyway, really. That's fine. It's fine. I'm going to have to leave it for now because I'm going to have to go and get ready for work. Because I'm going to have to leave in good time. And this fly is going to have to leave me alone. Go away, man. Come on. me at least semi-clear up. Even if I'm just chucking stuff a little more out the way. I don't enjoy being untidy. Not really. I could deal with it, but, you know. Better than it was. Better than it was. But looking at that, am I going to have to... I have to think about whether I knock this back or not. I think I probably will, but it's not sure. I had a penny for every time I said I was leaving, and then stayed. I wouldn't need to worry about quitting my job. I swear, I'm just going to do this, and then I'm actually going to go. Quiet, because I'm concentrating. Concentrating on not ballsing this up so that I can leave. Okay. That seems considerably better, to be honest. Oh, that the hole that's there for no reason. Well, that's a future me problem. Well, I guess the future is now. Good job, me. Full of surprises. Right. Walk away. God's sake. Okay. I'm gonna leave this for now because I have to. Had to, like, 15 minutes ago. But now I really have to. But I will be back to do more of this tomorrow morning. Again, before work. Hopefully, I will actually be okay with the blade by the time I leave. I'm only gonna say hopefully because it's exclusively tentative. So for now, that's it. And I'll catch you guys in a bit. Laters.